March 2020 saw the release of the very first 6-inch G.I. Joe action figure from Hasbro. This new line was called G.I. Joe Classified Series. This figure, Snake Eyes, was numbered 00 and was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. About 4 months later, between the months of June and July, we would get Wave number 1. Here is figure number 1, Roadblock. Figure number 2, Snake Eyes. Figure number 3, Destro. Figure number 4, Duke. And finally, figure number 5, Scarlet. In August, the first wave of the Target exclusive Cobra Island figures showed up. Well, kind of. Here we have Beachhead, figure number 10, and he has kind of an interesting story. People were finding this figure with brown eyes and blue eyes. I'm not sure as of yet if there was a specific reason why there were two different eye colors. Next we have Roadblock, figure number 11. Yes, we did get another Roadblock that soon. Anyway, there wasn't anything really special about this figure except for a lot of people thought he looked like Heavy Duty, which I'm missing the resemblance because Heavy Duty doesn't have a beard. Next we have figure number 12, the Cobra Trooper. And yes, there is a reason that I brought out two figures. The figure on the left has a blue collar, the figure on the right has a black collar, and there's even a third one with a black collar and a black waist. And they go in that order of rarity. The blue collar is the most common, the black collar is a little bit more rare, and the most rare is the black collar with the black waist. I'm not clear on why there was such a difference except for maybe they were different production runs. And the final figure to this very frustrating and controversial wave is number 13, the Baroness. She came with a Cobra Coil Cycle. Later that month, we got our first Amazon exclusive, Arctic Mission Storm Shadow. This is figure number 14, and he is based on the Ninja Force Storm Shadow. In late September, early October, we got Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. This is figure number 9 and was a PulseCon exclusive. Those of you who are premium members got this figure in 2020, while those non-premium members got this in early 2021. The next figure was a fan channel exclusive. This is Prophet Director Destro, and he is figure number 15. And here's a final look of the first 7 exclusives of 2020. November saw the release of Wave 2. Here is Cobra Commander. He is figure number 6, but I refer to him as 6A, and I will tell you why in just a moment. Then we got figure number 7, Red Ninja. And the final figure of the wave is number 8, Gung Ho. And the final figure of the year was a Regal variant Cobra Commander. Yes, another Cobra Commander. This was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It was made to order. This is figure number 6, the same as that guy back there, but I refer to this as 6B, and let me tell you why. The Cobra Commander boxes tell the tale. The one on the left is this guy, regular Cobra Commander. The one on the right is this guy, Regal variant. Look here on the left. If you notice, the 06 is whiter than the 06 of this. That is intentional. And even notice up here, the yellow is a brighter yellow, and this is more of an orange. The boxes have a very slight difference. So when I rotate these around, you can see that this is regular and this is the Regal. So they kind of lightened the color a little bit. They made it a little bit more blue, a little bit more orange, so you could actually visually tell on the packaging that you had a different figure. I guess that was easier than putting like A or B or something. And here's a final look at the last 4 figures of 2020. The beginning of 2021 would bring back Target exclusive figures Cobra Island. This is Wave 2. We have Firefly on the left. He is figure 21. We have Cobra Viper on the right. He is figure 22. I'd have to say that collectors were equally frustrated with this wave as they were Wave 1. In March of 2021, Hasbro reissued some of the Wave 1 figures, namely Duke, figure number 4, Scarlet, figure number 5, and Roadblock, figure number 1. These were reissued with new colors, a little bit more subtle as opposed to gold colors in various parts. They had some silver and kind of just darker tones overall. These figures are referred to as field variants. While these 3 were the only actual field variants, Destro and Snake Eyes both had a strange little change. So here we are zooming in on Destro. So I hope you can see. The one here on the left, this is the original Wave 1, has this odd little circle on his head. This one over here that was released sometime between Wave 1 and March of 2021 did not have a circle on the head. It's kind of a strange little thing, but it is a change worth noting. And as mentioned, Snake Eyes also had a strange little change. I don't know how well you can see this, but up here on the top of his visor, on his forehead, he has a little red dot. This is the Wave 1 version, and sometime between Wave 1 and March of 2021, they redid the figure without the dot. And there was even a package variant for Snake Eyes where the knife, instead of sitting up here in the plastic tray, was tucked down into the holster. We're now up to April with retail wave number 3, and this is figure number 23, Zartan. And figure number 24, Cobra Infantry. That's the exact same figure as Cobra Trooper, but in a general release form. This figure was released so that people who missed out on the Cobra Island Trooper could still get a Cobra Trooper. There are paint differences between the two. The original Cobra Island has a lighter skin tone, while the Cobra Infantry is a darker skin tone, and there's spots that are now gray that were black over here, and some pieces have more kind of gray outlines, and there is a pretty visible difference in hand. And in May, the third wave of the Target exclusive Cobra Island appeared, and it was one figure. Major Blood figure number 27. Then the next retail wave dropped in June, and that consisted of figure number 25 Flint and figure 26 Lady J. And I think we all had plenty of time to pick up these figures. And in August, we got our next Amazon exclusive, Heavy Artillery Roadblock. This was figure number 28. Later that month, we get retail wave number 5. That is actually the first wave of the Snake Eyes Origins movie. And we get number 16, Snake Eyes, along with number 17, Storm Shadow, and number 19, the Baroness. And if you're thinking something is off, you're not wrong, and it has nothing to do with the movie. It has to do with the numbers 16, 17, and 19. The Snake Eyes movie was delayed an entire year, so that's why these lower numbers are being released after the higher numbers. As soon as September showed up, we got the next retail wave, number 6, and the second series of Snake Eyes movie figures. They were figures 18 Akiko and 20 Scarlet. And whether you like her or not, Akiko has the pleasure of being the very first G.I. Joe classified figure, not based on a previously released figure. And there's also something else that's special about Akiko, and that has to do with her packaging. And if you're a fan of any and all G.I. Joe variants, then this might be of interest to you. Only some of Akiko packaging were printed with this, and I'm not sure what the breakdown is, if it's about half and half. It seemed like you could find quite a few with the warning label on and quite a few with the warning label off. This is not a sticker, it is actually printed on there, and so it's not that it wasn't stuck on here, it's just that there was nothing printed there. So if you're a variant hunter, some have a warning label and some don't. Between September and October, we got the final 2 Target exclusive Cobra Island figures. Number 29, Breaker with the Ram Cycle, and number 32, Barbecue. And as I said, these are the last 2 of the Cobra Island series. November saw the release of the fan channel exclusive Snake Eyes and Timber Snake Eyes' figure number 30, and yes, that's right, we got our first G.I. Joe pet, and isn't Timber the best option? And a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, Master of Disguise Zartan. This is figure number 31. And this figure has a color change feature based off of temperature, not direct sunlight. We'll zoom in here real quick. And I don't know if you can tell, but the skin looks a little bit darker than the typical skin tone of the figures. So that's just part of the color change feature right there. What's fascinating is the first Zartan that was solicited to a GameStop. In the description, GameStop said that there was a color change feature, but there really wasn't for that figure. The color change didn't come around until this figure release, so a lot of people kind of got frustrated because they thought they were getting the color change, and they didn't. But anyway, and we're going to wrap up 2021 with figure number 33, the Bat, and figure 34, the Alley Viper. Now, these kind of have an interesting tale. Don't most figures seem to have an interesting tale? These 2 figures just barely, and I mean just barely, squeaked into the end of 2021, as only a few retailers got these and sent them out. Most people received their figures in early 2022, but I am including them in the late 2021 simply because they did officially release. And I think it's also really cool that we see Alley Viper by the end of 2021, because we had been seeing Alley Viper on the back of the boxes of the G.I. Joe Classified series from day one, and this was a highly desired character. We saw him, and a lot of people just like, where is he? When are they going to release this figure? And then they finally did, which was pretty cool. We were finally to 2022, and the year began with a bang. Well, not really. It was more like a whimper. We didn't see the first figures until July, when Storm Shadow figure number 35 showed up, along with his cartoon nemesis, Spirit, as figure number 36, and the pets were starting to come in strong, because up here's Freedom, his eagle. And not to be a villain short, here is Cobra Officer figure number 37. Let's add one more in, and that is Crocmaster. He is figure number 38 with his pet crocodile, Fiona. And this is the most articulated crocodile you will ever see. This crocodile has joints all over the place. Hinges here and there. The mouth opens up. This thing is nuts. September and October would lead to a slew of exclusives, and we begin with the fan channel exclusive Set 51 Blue Ninjas, which you have the male and female varieties of. Then you get another fan channel exclusive, number 52, that's Snake Eyes, and another Timber. Like I said, we've gotten a lot of pets here, so this is kind of like a version 2 of these. And then finally an Amazon exclusive. This is Kamakura, who is figure number 61. The final fan channel exclusive was box set number 47, Cobra Viper Officer and Cobra Vipers, and here they are. It was a 3-pack, and this was a pretty awesome thing. If you weren't able to find or locate or get one of the Cobra Island Target exclusive original looking Vipers, these two actually look like they'd fit the bill pretty good. So what's kind of neat is you get this Viper that has a light skin color and this Viper that has a dark skin color. But because of that, there could be potential factory mistakes, and that's right, there is a variant out there, and that variant is this right here, where some of the packages have the light colored officer with dark colored arms. And the only way you will see this is if you take off this arm gauntlet, or this arm cover, because this completely and totally hides the skin color. So the only way you will know if you've got this version is by taking this off. So most likely customizers are the ones who discovered that when they took off these arm covers. They discovered how Hasbro or somebody at the factory mixed it up and combined dark-skinned arms with a light-skinned neck. Now, I might say that there is a simple fix for that, but up until now, as far as I know, there's never been a figure that has a dark skin neck and light skin arms found. So you can't really swap the parts back and forth like that. We got our next retail wave, number 9, in November, and that consisted of number 44 Tomax, 45 Zaymot, and 46 Sergeant Stalker. Now, you'd think we'd finally be getting to the point where there was no variants or no problems, but you would be wrong. So let's take a look at their boxes. The problem lies in the iconography, these little symbols on the side that designate what the special skills for these characters are. I have the original releases, and so it shows these, but these are actually wrong. And I'll throw up on the screen what later production runs were changed to. So again, if you're a variant hunter, this might be very interesting to you. November also saw the release of the next Target exclusive, Tiger Force versus Python Patrol. And we have 3 new figures from those factions. Number 39, Tiger Force Outback, number 41, Python Bat, and number 42, Python Viper. And for anyone who doesn't know, this figure is based on the 1989 European exclusive. And before the month was through, we would have 3 more exclusive figures. Number 53, Sergeant Slaughter, who was a fan channel exclusive. Number 57, Serpentor with Air Chariot, who was a PulseCon exclusive. And number 43, Dr. Mindbender, who was an SDCC exclusive. Now, I find this really appropriate, and I'm sure it was completely planned out on Hasbro's part, that we got these 3 figures all in the same month because of their connection that they have throughout the TV show and the movie. I'd like to point out something about Dr. Mindbender in that everybody, for the most part, has a unique Dr. Mindbender in the fact that because of the cape and how it was made and the length of time it was on the figure and the packaging, everybody kind of got their own cape bleed tattoos, and they're kind of unique. And I don't know how well or if you can see mine right there, but just about everybody's. I don't think anybody actually got a Dr. Mindbender without any kind of a cape ink bleed. Wave 10 was the final retail release of 2022, consisting of number 48 Zorana, 49 Dusty, and number 50 the Crimson Guard, which seemed to be a fan favorite. 2023 began with a larger bang than 2022 in the fact that over the course of January and February, we got 3 Target exclusive Tiger Force figures and 1 Python Patrol figure. They were number 40 Tiger Force Duke with the Ram Cycle, number 54 Tiger Force Bazooka, number 55 Tiger Force Recondo, and finally number 56 Python Officer version 1, and we'll get to that later. On a side note, anyone who got the HasLab Dragonfly to customize into a Tigerfly, well, here's your pilot. In April, we received Retail Wave number 11, beginning with number 58 Mad Marauder Barbecue. It was changed from Slaughter's Marauders to Mad Marauders for some reason that I'm not aware of. Then number 59 Covergirl, number 60 the Crimson Bat, 63 regular style Outback, and finally number 64 Lieutenant Falcon. July saw the release of Retail Wave number 12, beginning with number 62 regular style Bazooka, number 70 Shipwreck and Polly, number 71 Rock and Roll, number 72 Copperhead, number 73 Torpedo, and number 74 Scrap Iron. He was a deluxe figure and came with a drone rocket launcher. We also got 2 more Target exclusive figures, number 65 Tiger Force Dusty and number 66 Python Crimson Guard. In August, we got a series of scattered random releases. Beginning with number 69, the Arctic Bat, then number 81, the Cobra Eel, which was an Amazon exclusive, then number 79, Cobra Televiper with Flight Pod, and then finally a Cobra Valkyries 2-pack that was a Pulse exclusive. These are number 68 together. From here on out, we'll be doing a month-by-month listing because the releases get so scattered, it's a little bit difficult to keep track of who is dropping in which wave and which group, and there's so many exclusives, it's just kind of nuts all over the place. So September saw the release of the first 2 Retail Wave 13 figures, number 85, the Crimson Viper, and number 87, Grunt. Then we had the Pulse exclusive figure number 67, Snow Job. And then we got the Walmart exclusives figure number 76, Range Viper, and 77, Night Force Big Ben. And we're going to finish off this group with the fan channel exclusive number 92, Desert Commando Snake Eyes. But just kidding, we're not quite done with these figures. We're going to bring Range Viper here a little bit closer because there is what you would call a variant. And here is another Range Viper right here. If you can't tell right away what the difference is, I'll point it out to you. Notice the ammo belt here. This one has a black paint stripe all the way across, while this one is completely unpainted. So that's a very interesting that some of them were released painted and some of them were not painted. October saw the release of 2 more Target exclusive figures. We have numbers 88 Python Vipra and 89 Tiger Force Flint. We also got what I would refer to as Part 2 of Retail Wave number 13, and that consists of figure number 83 Tunnel Rat, figure number 84 Firefly the Classic Style, and figure number 86 Lowlight. We got Retail Wave 14, what I would classify as Part 1, thanks to an early BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, release. And they were figures 106 Buzzer and 104 Agent Helix. Then we got number 78 Tripwire, who was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, number 93 Snow Serpent. And then the 2-pack Steel Core Trooper, which was pack number 95. We get both male and females of those. I personally like these figures without their armor, but this is what they look like with their armor fully on. We finish out October with the Crimson Strike team, consisting of Tomax, Baroness, and Zaymot. This set is number 82, was a 2023 PulseCon exclusive. Then we get the 2023 SDCC exclusive, number 75, Mr. Chuckles, and it's really cool. They have like this whole story going between the two sets, and I think it's a lot of fun. We began the month in November with a series of Walmart exclusives now, and those are number 90 Shooter, number 91 Crimson Alley Viper, and number 94 Mole Rat. We also saw what I'd classify as Retail Wave 14 Part 2, and I'm going to sneak in Part 3 here as well, with figure 102 Ripper, 105 Shockwave, and Hawk was actually released early December, number 103 General Hawk. And we finish off the month of November with a series of Target exclusives, none other than Python Patrol. So we get number 96 Python Copperhead, number 97 Python Officer, version 2, and Python Televiper with Flight Pod. Wait a minute, did I just say Python Officer version 2? Yes, that's right. This is a version 2 Officer, which I believe should have been a Trooper. And if you ask Hasbro, the G.I. Joe Classified team, they would say it was a purposeful mistake, but I do believe that this was misprinted. And it was supposed to be Trooper, Python Trooper, but it became Officer. So in my book, this is Python Trooper. You call it whatever you would like. In December, we got the long-awaited HasLab Hiss Tank, along with 3 figures. They are figures number 99, the Hiss Driver, number 100, the Hiss Tactician, and 101, the Hiss Gunner. The color scheme of the Hiss Tactician was a fan-voted choice. Then we got the Fireteam 788 3-figure pack to go along with the HasLab Hiss Tank, and that consisted of an Officer, an Infantry, and a Range Viper. This entire 3-pack was numbered 110. We finish out December of 2023 with 4 more figures. Number 80 Nunchuck, a couple Walmart exclusive figures, number 108 Shadow Tracker and 109 Wolf Spider. And the final figure to just barely make it into 2023 is Mutt and his dog Junkyard. But wait, we're not finished yet, because in late 2022, Hasbro released a series of classified figures on retro cards. And these cards looked similar, not exactly, but similar to the A Real American Hero cards of the 1980s. The first 4 figures, Baroness, Lady J, Destro, and Gung Ho, came out between July and October of 2022, while Storm Shadow, Zartan, Snake Eyes, and Crimson Guard released May and June of 2023. The idea behind these figures is that they would be colored to look very similar to the original 1980s figures. And we have one last figure to bring in, and that is Cobra Commander. This was a retro-style figure released with the HasLab Hiss Tank in December of 2023. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the complete checklist of G.I. Joe classified action figures.